What car will you never buy again? PT Cruiser. Almost everything went wrong with my lemon yellow PT Cruiser. Just a few fun things: back door button didn't work and I had to pull back the paneling to access a release from the inside. I didn't dare tap my horn as it would frequently just stay honking constantly until I turned off the car. Battery leaked constantly for some reason. I had to disconnect every time I parked. Gas gauge stopped working around half empty. Toyota, because I'm pretty sure mine will last the rest of my life with no problems, lol. A Toyota Prius. I bought a 2007 and told my wife I'd drive it until it dies. That thing would not die. I mean, it never even needed repairs. Tires, oil changes, wiper blades, and bulbs. I really wanted a new car. Thankfully she agreed to let me sell it. At 280k plus miles, it still drove like new. I'll never make that mistake again. Jeeps. Just expect every problem. Not me, but my parents. Dodge. My parents had a Dodge Caliber that had so many issues with the transmission, axles, engine, exhaust, and so much more that it made me never want to own a Dodge when I do buy a car one day. I've heard other Dodge owners having issues too. Holy shit, I scrolled top to bottom, and I didn't see Mazda once. Jeep. Owned a Cherokee and always had suspension boots that cracked and leaked oil, and the electrical and coolant systems were constantly on the fritz. Parents' Cherokee had so many recalls it was basically a different car from what came from the factory. Over $13,000 in one repair instance. My friend's Wrangler literally died in an intersection within a week of purchase while he was driving it. The angle of the windshields make them more prone to rock chips and cracks. Uconnect was super late in supporting Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and older models were left out. The Wagoneer embodies everything wrong with American car market trends: too big but not where it matters, too expensive, too slow, too inefficient. Oh, and their stupid experiment to try out new gear shifter designs resulted in the accidental death of Anton Yelchin. Aztec. About 3 times a year, some asshole throws a pizza on my roof. A Toyota Celica GTS6 SPD manual, cause it just won't die. I've been driving it for 22 years and now has 405k miles and still runs like a champ. I'll never buy one again, face with tears of joy. Heard nothing but good things from Honda, Toyota, and Mazda. I've spent nearly 15 years working as a parts advisor selling parts for Suzuki, Subaru, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, Alfa, Hyundai, Kia, and GM. From that, I will never buy anything American, European or Korean made. I will only buy Japanese cars. A fucking Buick. I'm a simple gal. I ask 2 things of my car: to stop and go. Jeep, 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 Jeep. Every Chevy I've had has had constantly weird issues, mostly with overheating. Jeep. Man, I love the idea they represent, but the cost of repair in the UK now is prohibitive. Fun cars, break a lot, especially when you take them off-road. Real shame. I know, no surprise. Land Rover. It was my wife's dream car. What a POS. I have a 2019 Ford Escape that I hate with a passion. I have sunk so much money into this car. The motor was replaced at 30k miles and the transmission at 82k. And now I have to find a transmission bolt because I'm stupid and out the damn thing is crooked. All the cars I've already owned. Anything GM. I'll buy Honda for the rest of my life. I will only buy Honda or Toyota, and even then, the models would be limited. European cars are not only expensive to buy, they are expensive to maintain. American cars are fine if you don't mind buying new again before they get to 100k miles. These are broad generalizations, but they hold true in my experience. Chevy Sonic. POS had me paying rent at the shop. All GM cars. This situation applied to the GMC Acadia, not that I owned one, but my dad owns one. A very common issue that GM has acknowledged and refused to fix for free with the 2016 to 2019 model year Acadias is the shift to park message showing every time you shut the car off. Basically there is a chip in the shifter which is supposed to detect if the car is parked, and after 60,000 miles or more this chip fails and the car is unable to detect that it is properly in park. It was very difficult for us to figure out because the battery would never shut off, and we found out that we have to flick the button on the shifter that allows you to shift gears every time you turn off the car so that the message goes away. One time my dad forgot to do that and the car battery was left on overnight and the battery died. He tried jumping it and was all sleepy headed and fucked up and put the jumper cables on wrong and fried his battery, so he had to get it towed for a replacement. The issue persists and there is a few known fixes, but as for the actual chip it's near impossible to fix because there is such a wide number of replacement chips available, but it is hard to narrow down which one is the correct one. The fact that this is a defect on the vehicle and it is GM's fault and they refuse to fix this for free is astonishing to me. This reflects really poorly on behalf of GM. Mercedes, every time you take it in because the light goes off they want to charge you a minimum of $2,600. It's just a huge scam. Oh look, there's a sensor light out on your exhaust well, that'll be $1,800. I truly stopped believing their mechanics knew what they were doing. All they do is replace parts, they don't fix anything. I don't believe they know how, they just read the readout and charge you the highest amount that appears. Audi. Great car when it worked, but my 1-year-old A4 was towed to the shop 3 times in 1 year with ignition and fuel injection problems. A 1996 Sunfire for very obvious reasons. Camry, because I'll never have to. 300k miles, 0 signs of slowing down. Edit for context, 05 Camry. Got it in 2010 with 40k miles. Gets in excess of 30 mpg. I use it as my commuter car. I have a 120-mile round trip multiple times a week. I have had to do routine maintenance, but otherwise it has been mostly devoid of issues. Last year, the stereo started going, so I replaced with a modern, touchscreen style stereo. I miss the 5 CD changer, but the phone connectivity is worth it. Previously I was using AA tape deck adapter with my phone, LOL. A Ford Focus. R56 Mini Cooper, it's like the crazy ex you keep going back to. Anything Hyundai or Kia. I don't like having my car stolen because the car makers are too stupid to make a security system that can't easily be bypassed by simply taking apart the steering column and using a damn USB cord to start the car. Chevy Spark. I don't even need to elaborate. Buying the cheapest thing on the lot is a bad idea. Ford, anyone. Nothing against their cars, but every dealership I've been to left me with the feeling I was being ripped off. Probably just a bad bunch of dealers in my area, or some sort of bias. But I won't buy Fords again. Anything Chrysler. A brand new one. Unless we strike it rich. Don't make them anymore, but Pontiac Grand Am bought one brand new off the lot in 2003-ish. Thing was a piece of shit right off the lot. Biggest issue was overheating, which the dealership didn't see as a problem. I'd have to blast the heat in the summer to keep the car from overheating. My mom had a 2021 Bronco Sport, absolute piece of shit. Fucking ugly too. Brand new right off the lot. I think it was within 3 or 4 months she said she was having transmission issues and some electrical issue, though I can't remember what it was. I never would have bought one in the first place purely due to how fucking hideous the thing was, but after hearing about those 2 issues with it, I absolutely never will. Toyota Aygo, I will be dead before it dies. Toyota. But only because mine is so reliable as will last long enough that I'll never have to buy another one again. Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler. They are trash. I have a 2005 Saab 9-2X. It's chugging along just fine, but I will never purchase a car without AC ever again. It's just insufferable. Especially for someone who's never gone to an actual mechanic and is very reluctant to do so. But I'll be hauling it to the shop this summer because I can't deal with driving for 20 minutes and inevitably being drenched in sweat. Any Kia or Hyundai. Rife with engine problems, theft issues, and more. Worst yet, they refuse to admit and help their customers until forced.